I was the librarian in a town called Glory Point for a long time. It's not a town you could find on a map. Not anymore. I'm the only thing that's left, and I need to get some of this stuff out of my head. You all won't believe what happened if I start off with how my town went to hell, so I'll start off with her story first. I'll start with the whore. I first learned about her from a campfire story that my brother told me and my friends. Was such a fan of the town's tall tales, legends, and ghosts. It's what made me take up the job of librarian in the first place. When he disappeared, the only thing that made me feel close to him was being around all that town history. I'll try to honor him by transcribing the story as faithfully as my memory will allow. Around here, there are many old stories meant to teach moral lessons. One of my favorites was an old story to scare married young men in town, the kind who had shotgun weddings that didn't quite put down the lustful beast of their youth. It went like this, I believe. If a man were to sleep with another woman in the first year after his vows, he'd see the whore. Who's the whore, you ask? Well, stories vary. Some say she's the ghost of one of old King Solomon's wives. Some say she's one of the devil's own concubines.
My personal favorite is that she's Wilma Winters. In the town's founding, it was still a Puritan spot. One that was pure in the town square, but quite the opposite behind barn doors. That's where old Wilma Winters came in. She was apparently the favorite of all of the town's council, which included all of the church leadership, even the witch-finder general himself. Some say she grew tired of her sordid reputation and set herself ablaze. But I think, given the time period, it was a punishment. The modern telling was that she was accused of being a witch by one or all of the wives of her lovers. It was said in her funeral pyre she made a deal with the devil himself to haunt the town's adulterers and lead more into hell to take revenge on the descendants of those who burned her. Hence the whore was born. Here's how she operates. I'll give you her most famous story. The year is 1954, almost 200 years since the whore was burned. A young Dale Grimm just married some debutante. You see, despite vowing before friend, family, and Heavenly Father, he didn't even last a week before sleeping with his wife's sister. In comes the whore. The first day, Dale only smelled a lovely perfume with the faint scent of burnt skin. The second day, he only saw shadows. A slender woman's shape was always just out of direct sight. The smell grew stronger then. The third day, he saw her eyes peeking up at him with hot lust and cold hate from behind every crack in a door, small storm drain, or under his bed. Dale knew the legend. He knew he'd be haunted for as long as he kept his wedding vows. That meant he had only 4 more days, you see. Poor guy sealed his short sentence, and he didn't even particularly enjoy the act. By the 4th day, he felt her fingers slide slowly down his spine randomly throughout the day. It was the slow caress of a lover. He also felt her hot, frantic breath at his neck as if she were right behind him. The 5th day, Dale woke up with full, deep furloughs of skin ripped from his back. She'd clawed him so deep he needed medical attention. The bone was exposed and everything. On the 6th day, he woke up and couldn't move. Only stare at her smiling face. She apparently has a smile, in the same way a snarling ape has a smile. It was all animalistic and hungry. He had to watch as she slowly, gingerly brought his right hand up to her mouth.